We hit up some more New Orleans thrift stores while we were down in New Orleans on vacation. I'm going to show you what kinds of things we picked up to bring home to flip for a profit and talk to you about the kinds of things that we left behind that maybe weren't worth bringing home. Let's get started. Hey there, welcome to my channel, Texas Gal Treasures. If you are new here, we are full-time resellers. We pick up things from garage sales, estate sales, thrift stores, pretty much everywhere to sell online and locally to make a profit so that we are able to just do this full-time and enjoy vacations like this in New Orleans whenever we decide we want to go somewhere. So if you are interested in videos like that and learning how to flip things online and locally, then make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell so you're notified when we put out new videos. I'm also on Instagram and Facebook at Texas Gal Treasures, and I just joined Whatnot. So at this thrift store, I'm really trying to be choosy about what I'm bringing home. I'm trying to do that not only when we're out of town, but also at home, because I want to try to find things that bring a little more profit, especially when I'm in a thrift store like this that has a ton of stuff. There's so much to choose from. I really could have gone home with a lot more than I did. They had great sales going on. But as you can see, I'm about to grab this glass paperweight. I do pick up this glass paperweight. However, I'm on the fence about continuing to pick them up because they've been kind of slow sellers for me. There are some that sell for low amounts, like these $15, $10 ones, but there are some that sell for a huge amount of money. So it's always worth taking a look to see, what brand it is, if it's a signed paperweight. Like some of these, I mean, this is a Robert Held, there's Joseph Simpson, or Josh Simpson, I should say, that can sell for a really good profit, especially when you're getting them for pretty cheap. And then here are a couple other ones that, the one, what is that in the bowl? I can't read it. Ludenberg Studios, that one, I mean, come on, 160 bucks. So it's definitely worth your while to pick them up and look. But I'm going to be a little more choosy because I've got a lot of glass paperweights just sitting on my shelf right now. So like I said, these are beautiful. However, some of them are not selling for that much money. Tell me if you've sold some glass paperweights. What's your take on that? Down in the comment section. I've been picking them up for a while and some sell, some don't. This shelf sitter, this is another thing I was going to share with you. Shelf sitters can sell. Again, it is subject matter, so I did not get that horse. He was kind of goofy looking, which may have actually been good, but there are some, as you can see, some of these shelf sitters that can sell for a really good profit. These I always say it wrong, anthropomorph, oh come on y'all, I can't say it. I saw a few of these Patriotic Eagles sold for in the $70 to $80, and there were a few that, man, I have on my BOLO list coming up. If I am out and about and I see them, I'm going to definitely pick them up. But there are these brutalists. They're kind of squared off. I mean, you can't miss them when you see them. They're kind of weird looking, like these. Here, mid-century modern Marcello Bentoni. So this is a cave woman's shelf sitter. And then there was another one that I saw that sold that was like a family, like caveman family. Look at this. 450 bucks. Well, best offer was accepted. But this is definitely, I mean, they're real boxy looking, so you can't miss them. Something I'm definitely going to be looking out for because it might have been something, it probably would have caught my eye because I really do get drawn in by the weird stuff. But I don't think I've seen that before, but I'm definitely on the hunt for it now because that's a really good profit. I liked that little piggy bank, and y'all, this is my guilty pleasure. Okay, this is 50% off red tags here, and it's a little carved wooden owl. It's like one of those things I can't help myself. I have to get it. Do you have something like that where it's like when you find them, you just have to pick them up? I love little carved animals. They usually sell. Sometimes they sit for a little bit longer, but especially for that price, it was 50% off, $1 and something. It was definitely worth me picking up. This thrift store was stacked to the brim. I mean, I could have really walked out of there with a lot of stuff, but I had the family with me, and they were patiently going to thrift stores. We decided we would do one thrift store a day in the morning before we really got out. We'd eat breakfast, go hit a thrift store, and then the rest of the day would be for New Orleans. We didn't go, I think, the last 2 days, but they were very patient and went with me to thrift stores. Juan was all in, but, the kids were, they had a little bit of fun, but it was fun for me. That was the one thing I really wanted to do. I love thrifting in other cities. So this is a beautiful pitcher, like gravy pitcher. It was half off, so it was $2. I haven't even peeled off the tag, honestly, to see what the brand was. And it was beautiful. It's that blue on white. I need to look it over a little bit closer to see if it's flow blue, which can really, I don't think it is, but it was pretty enough anyway, that for $2, I think I can make a profit on it. This lox platter really caught my eye. Green and blue, I believe this day, were 75% off. So this ended up being $1 for the lox platter. I didn't get the pumpkin plate, and I kind of regret it now because I think that might have been a good pickup as well. But the lox platter, even though, you know, it was 75% off, got it for $1. I saw a couple up for maybe $15, $17. It wasn't selling for as much as I thought. I was like, I'm not even gonna look this up. Do you ever get cocky like that? I'm not even gonna look this up. I know this is a profit. And then you get home, you're like, womp womp. I mean, it's still a good profit, I think, but this was really cool as well, but it was cracked. That whale picture, I would have gotten it if it hadn't been cracked. So going through the glasses and stuff, there were some really cool, I think, brewery type glasses, and some, I couldn't tell if this one was from a brewery. Jack Frost, is that a brewery? I didn't get it, but now I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, maybe I should have looked that up. But I didn't, you know. And then the pressure's on too when you have your family with you, people that aren't quite as into it as you. I was like really trying to hustle. I was trying to make it an hour or less in the thrift store so that they weren't just burnt to the core and just irritable from hanging in the thrift store. But they were good sports about it. Nobody really complained. So here, yeah, I end up passing up on these little plates. They just had so much, and this is one of those things where I'm sure I missed stuff. So if you see something I missed, holler it out because I can go back and check in the comments. But I love a thrift store like this. That's just, I mean, it's just jammed to the gills with just stuff, lots and lots of stuff and variety. The next section I hit up is the lamp section, and I'm really still getting comfortable with lamps. Shipping them and purchasing them, trying to figure out what will sell. But there's one here that catches my eye, and it's a plush lamp. I really was tempted to bring it home. It looks like a maybe Dumbo. I don't end up getting it because I did a little research while I was there, and I saw, you know, there are some plush lamps that are up for sale. As you can see, there's 136 stuffed animal lamps if you search that on eBay. But then when you go to see how many have sold, there's not quite so many. Maybe 24 have sold. And when I scrolled through those, they weren't all actually stuffed animal lamps. So there really weren't that many that sold. And I don't want to be hanging on to this forever. But the ones that did sell, you know, sold. Some of them sold for a fairly good profit. So here's this little stuffed animal dog. And then, oh, I was going to talk to you all about the IKEA lamps. This is one to definitely look for. And I've made this mistake myself because I thought IKEA's, you know, dime a dozen, but they can really sell. I have to say, my kid has this lamp in his bedroom right now, and he won't let me sell it. We got it at a garage sale. And I'm like, let me know when you don't want that lamp anymore. I'm going to sell it. But IKEA lamps can definitely sell for a profit. Look at these that look like a little mushroom. That one's one that's got a speaker in it. $139 is what that sold for. Here's another one that's just like the mushroom table lamp, $98. And then there's some other ones. I think the next one I'm going to show you, I saw a green one like this, and I walked by it and was like, those are a dime a dozen. And everybody in the comment section was like, no, pick it up. I was like, you're right. So yeah, never too late to learn something new. So I am definitely on the hunt for IKEA lamps now. I didn't see any at this thrift store, however, but that one down there looks like Cinnabar, and I didn't even really pay close attention to that. That might have been a good one to pick up. I doubt it was real Cinnabar, but it was worth a look. You know, people are into that. This is something else that caught my eye. This is something that I would have purchased in a heartbeat, especially when I first started thrifting, because I was selling a lot of vintage stuff. They wanted $3 for this. It's one of those fabric diaper hanging things, you know, but they really are not selling for that much. You know, here are some that are up on eBay. These are not even sold. And you can see like maybe $10 or so, depending on the subject matter. But it was something that I would have purchased without even thinking twice about it when I first started. But now I'm like, well, what do I look for instead? So this is how I try to flip it. When I find something like that, like, well, okay, there must be something nursery related that I should be looking for. So maybe it's not these hanging diaper holders, but when I looked up, because vintage stuff definitely sells. I mean, and again, there are some of these that did sell for about 25 bucks, but I guess it just depends on subject matter. But what I did find that will sell are these vintage mobiles, right? So here's a Looney Tunes vintage mobile. This one's just like balloons and Disney, Winnie the Pooh, right? Vintage mobile. And then I saw another one that was, oh, what was it? Here we go. Yeah, like little rabbits and carrots and stuff like that. So if you see vintage mobiles out there, and I could have sworn I had one that was like a clown one with balloons and all that, but it may have been something I purged right before we moved, because I was trying to get rid of a lot of my big inventory before we moved to Austin a few years back. So I don't, I know I don't have it anymore. And I must have just purged it when I was cleaning out inventory. Their store was so organized. I mean, I was very impressed with the size of this store, the cleanliness of it, and how organized it was, because it would be very easy for this store to get out of control. It was huge, and there were so many people in there, but pretty much every aisle I went down was pretty well organized. Just look at these games and puzzles and stuff. I always check out pop figures. The one I picked up just now really wasn't worth anything, but I'm definitely scanning. I like to look for new and sealed puzzles and games, vintage games, and I do go through the dolls, because I'm always looking for American Girl dolls, and any doll that looks kind of unique that maybe I haven't seen before that I can look up. I've sold a number of used American Girl dolls, and they also make the bitty babies. They're like these twin babies. I've sold a number of those as well. So here I see these feet over here to the right. I'm like, oh, there's a stack of what appear to be American Girl or American Girl style dolls. I can tell by the feet. And so what I do is I pull them out and I look at their faces first off, because usually the American Girl dolls have their front teeth showing, which I'll show you here in a second. They have their little front teeth showing, and there's a lot of other brands that are out, like Target has their brand, the Our Generation. And so that's the first little telltale. See, I'm looking at their faces to see if their teeth are poking out. Nope, no teeth showing there. So generally, that is an indication of the American Girl doll. But another thing that you're definitely going to want to look at is the back of their necks. So older American Girl dolls will be marked Pleasant Company on the backs of their necks, and then newer ones are marked American Girl doll. So you see here a side-by-side comparison, Pleasant Company or American Girl doll. And also, if you find one that has like the white body, the fabric parts being white, that one, it's vintage and it's worth a lot of money. So here you can see some of the prices that people are paying for American Girl dolls. I mean, I've sold ones that look really, really janky, that needed a lot of work, here. And I don't really do auctions on my stuff, so these are bids. So I usually put a price and either take a best offer, or I did do a video like how to distinguish between the different dolls that are out there, between American Girl dolls, Our Generation, Madame Alexander, etc., etc. And I'll link that video here, so if you want to check it out and dive a little deeper into the different dolls, I think there's like 18-inch dolls. That's something to definitely take a peek at. Yeah, knowing what will sell and what to look for when you can just, look at them real fast and move on is really helpful. So here we're going to Thrift City, USA. This is another thrift store that we hit up. We didn't really find a whole lot here. I mean, there were some things that like I said, I probably would have bought either one if I had been at home, or two, maybe earlier on when I was just thrifting and picking stuff up and not really paying close attention to, the profit on the item or how long it might be sitting in my store. So let me show you the things that I was leaning towards but left behind. So I love picking up figural stuff, and this cat might have been a good pickup. I mean, they wanted $2.92 on it. It's a little Siamese cat figurine, which I do enjoy selling stuff like this, but lately things have been sitting, so I'm trying to be a little more choosy. And then look at this fantastic camera work. This guy, what do you think he is? Is it like for incense, or is it just for weirdness? The moon did go into my cart, but I did not end up buying it because I was like, what am I going to do? Really, I mean, it's probably going to sell, but how long? And I don't know. I talked myself out of it. I couldn't even quite figure out what this was. So that stayed back to, I thought it was like for toast or then a napkin hold. No. Maybe one of y'all can tell me what that was, because it stayed behind as well. This is a nice little bowl, but also something that didn't come home with me either. The next thing I spy is this dancing Homer Santa figurine, or, figure. I got pretty excited about this, honestly. I was like, yes, this is going to be it. This is going to be the thing that's going to be worth bringing home. But I think they wanted $14 for it, something like that. And when I looked it up, this just was not going for that much, This is one like new in box. The packaging looks fantastic, and it sold for $49. But I saw some, out of the box that just weren't selling for that much, Here's a couple, $10. This one sold for $7. I was like, man, what the hex? I thought this would be a for sure winner. But I always try to look at silver linings, what will sell. I love picking up animated like Christmas figures. So here's one that's definitely to be on the lookout for, and it's Donald Duck. He's like angry Donald Duck Christmas figurine or figure. Pushing almost $200 on those. So definitely if you see angry Donald Duck Christmas figure, grab it because it's worth money. And then I also saw multiple times when I was searching through the solds that these, Santa and Mrs. Claus figures that are, either lit up or moving, singing, are selling for well over $100. So that's definitely another item to look for as well when you're out there. These sold for $85. But yeah, I mean, that's just, if you pick something up and it's a bust, don't get disheartened. Look and see, okay, well, what else in this vein, in this same genre, would be something for me to pick up? And that way, when you're out, you've got one more little nugget, that you can be on the lookout for when you're thrifting. I really liked this little cat in the cage, and the bird was on the outside of the cage. I think they wanted $6 or so for that. I couldn't see the price on the video. But I ended up leaving it behind. Same reasons, just like trying to be a little more choosy. I have so much inventory, and we're going to have a huge photo party on Thursday and try to knock out the whole quote unquote death pile. This was absolutely gorgeous. So it's got this like Norse looking horse, definitely mid-century modern, fantastic ashtray. It was just beautiful. So there were some, I couldn't find my exact one, but some of these mid-century modern ashtrays are going for a lot of money. But also when I was doing this research, I saw that if you can find some of these standing ashtrays, they can sell for a ton of money. I mean, just look at some of these, $250 for that. A pair of these for almost $200, $143 for this one. It baffles the mind, but there's so much out there to make a profit on. These sold for between $120, $140. So if you see those standing ashtrays, jump on them, grab them, flip them. And then I saw a few of these Viking, they're like orbs ashtrays. They come in different colors. So this one sold for about $55, but I saw multiple different colors. So if you see something that looks like this, it would be cool for a trinket tray, or like, you throw your change in it too if you don't smoke. It's just really cool. So keep an eye out for that as well. Then I see these really nice glass ornaments. They're even marked Poland, blown glass. They're really pretty. They were $4. I feel like maybe I should have gotten them. I did not end up bringing those home. But this, in their holiday section, y'all, holiday stuff sells year-round. If you haven't heard, I'm telling you now. List it now. Don't wait. And these I also didn't get, which I'm regretting as well. They were two little presents. I think they were chipped. That one looked chipped. But look at this really pretty nativity. It's all ceramic. It's all enclosed. It's got the angel up top. It's really pretty. They wanted $6 for that. This is another one I decided to leave behind, but I feel like that could have been a really good seller as well. It's got, the whole Holy Family there. What is that brand? Yeah, and I just went with my gut, which is not always correct, just to leave it behind. Y'all let me know. But this is what really, really, really caught my eye. If you know what it is, Christopher Radko presents. These are Christopher Radko ornaments. They're the Halloween ones. Christopher Radko makes amazing ornaments. Halloween, Christmas, they're glass, they're highly collectible. So I definitely jumped on all 3 boxes of those, and you guys wait until you see what they are going for. Oh yeah, vintage wrapping paper. You know me, I like wrapping paper. So here we go. Christopher Radko ornaments. I mean, these are just solo ones, $98. Here's a set of 4 that sold for $170 for those boxes. These are some of the Christmas ones. The Christmas ones can sell as well depending on the subject matter, size. Those sold for $300. A couple more of the Halloween ones. This one sold for $115, you guys. So definitely a good pickup there. This was one like I got, sold for $33 in the box. I hope you enjoyed this video. Go down there, leave me a comment, and if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button and the bell, and I will see you on the next one. Thanks so much for hanging out. Bye, everyone.